What's up people, we are back with more of Katawa Shoujo. This video is probably gonna be up after the New Year, so I want to wish you guys a Happy New Year once again. I hope you guys had a fun celebration of it and overall are looking forward to 2016. I wish you guys a lot of happiness and good health to all of you. So yeah, I hope all of you guys were safe with fireworks as well, cause you know that can be pretty dangerous, but I don't need to lecture you guys about that, right? You all know, except Four Finger Bob, but Bob knows. He lost one finger, but you know, he's learned his lesson. So without further ado, let us just continue. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. Oh my god, if these girls were my guards, I wouldn't be complaining.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right. We're just going to play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't like that she used the word just, because that sounds like she's actually planning more, just in case. I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's probably highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. I wouldn't put it behind these two. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they are the only people that are part of the student council because they pretty much either scared everyone away, or whenever they tried to get people to join, they were so assertive that those people were also just scared away. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hee-chan. Hee-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hand behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily.
Stop that! I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune.
Haha, did she really say that? Shizune didn't hurt, so it's fine, right? Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center, surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks, and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras perhaps? I'm pretty sure they're like covered in dust because they've never had to need those chairs and tables. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. I told ya. Are we early? No? What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Uh-oh, I'm gonna be right about this, right? Oh my god, I am.
Yeah, that's right.
Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. She seems optimistic.
Hee-chan, let's play Risk.
Come on! You promised, didn't you? You have to. Hopefully nobody noticed that.
Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares that the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Oh yeah, let's go. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her finger on the table to get my attention.
Shi-chan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move.
This isn't chess, there's not a clock, is there?
Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council.
I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, hell no.
Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council.
Come on, you can't pay me off. Ha 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 ha. She's trying to make a deal. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous.
Magnanimous?
She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if she's trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing.
Wait! Please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose.
Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion.
Okay.
Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. Look at her face.
She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't.
It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here. She has a point to attack aggressively. The problem with this is that we can't make a strategic decision based on our situation in the game, right? Because we can't actually know. We don't see what the position is in the game exactly. She said, yeah, Shizune is attacking from two fronts, blah 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 blah, but we can't actually know what the better is just by looking at the game because we can't see it. So we only have to judge this from the fact of how, I guess, what kind of person Shizune would be, or what we think she is, and whether she would be a tactical mastermind and she's setting up a trap and therefore it would be better to play defensively, or she's just actually being very straightforward. And I don't know. This is a tough choice because it sort of feels like a gamble. I actually hold Shizune very highly, so I think that she would actually, even if she were not to be in a winning position, she would be smart enough to kind of set a trap for me. So I'm gonna go with this one. It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up, and I'm not going to wreck it doing something else. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. Oh no! We lost! Can I go back, please? Oh my god, we lost. Please don't make me join the student council. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration.
Ha 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 ha! He-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, She-chan, not me.
Ah, did she let something slip? Did she let something slip? No, I think she just made a mistake. It could be that, you know, she's pretending that She-chan is the one who's playing while it's actually Misha. But I have a feeling that, I don't know. Sure, Misha, the thing is, yeah, how I kind of observe both of them is that Shizune is the serious and smart type, whereas Misha is sort of, she's very smart as well, but I feel like she sort of has a little bit of a clumsy side here and there as well. So, I don't know, she could have slipped something there, but we've got no proof other than that. And it's actually not really that important, right? We lost, so it doesn't matter who we lost to, whether it was Misha or Shizune.
Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5-army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, He-chan. You need to play more daring. Ambition, ambition. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you played to switch in defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, He-chan.
Oh no, I did mess up terribly there.
You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, He-chan.
Well, that's the thing, like, I couldn't entirely read the situation of the game, so it's still a gamble, that choice. Damn.
What's it to her if I play too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you'd even be any good for the student council.
What's this? Reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case.
Giving up just like that? I expected more of you.
Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my 2nd day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any of the other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide.
Really, He-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better?
Yeah. I'm just not sure that I want to.
Aww. Okay, He-chan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me. Unless we graduate before that.
Wow. Is that really what the student council does all day, play Risk? That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know?
Surely you are not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game you know then, to give you a handicap.
Oh, I shouldn't have used that word, Misha. The thing that I'm actually wondering is Misha really the person that's like the laughing kind of girl, you know, that always constantly laughs between every single word of her sentence? Or is Shizune actually doing the sign language to Misha for her to laugh? I don't think that's the case, right? Oh god. I mean, you can just sort of see it from her personality already. Like, Misha is really always, she just seems very happy, upbeat, like she's always smiling. Shizune has really this more serious vibe, as I probably mentioned 10,000 times already.
I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. Aww, that's cold, He-chan.
I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall.
It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is?
No thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. I need to become independent as well, right?
Bye bye.
Oh my god, that picture is actually fairly creepy. I've seen it a couple of times now. I didn't expect to see it so often, so I didn't really feel like pointing it out. But now that we've seen it at least 3 or 4 times now, it's actually getting kind of creepy. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. Don't tell me they have that freaking picture on every floor, yeah? Holy crap, that would be so freaky. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them? Or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bend on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though. Just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. How do you gingerly push a door? I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. Oh, I hate the creaking sounds of doors. The door slowly creaks, as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it's much easier to open than I'd anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. Oh, who's this blonde-haired beauty? This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Is this a tea party?
Hello there. May I help you?
Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpectedly, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and the saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling that, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means that she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. A half Japanese girl who's blonde. Sure, why not? As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard.
Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student at Yamaku. Yeah. I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match, before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives me a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives me a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and me, some classmates, told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I am aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Moto, or Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. Oh, please don't fall. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Ooh, made her blush. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I am in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi. Oh my god, she's being taught karate. Oh my god, can I be in her class? Honestly, I would shave my hair to be taught by Mr. Miyagi. Like, holy crap. The Karate Kid was such an amazing movie back in my time, and yeah, me shaving my head for that, knowing, you guys probably don't know that, but I'm quite fond of my hair, as you might see. Occasionally, you know, it's all nice and slick sometimes. I even cut it myself. I know, it's strange, I know, but yeah.
Mr. Miyagi, oh please, can I be in class 3 too?
And is specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
Aw, damn it. We can't be in class 3 too.
Oh, so that must mean Kenji is in there too, right? I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas.
Oh god. Did he really? Oh my god. That's really a faux pas indeed. But it's like such a, I guess, easy one to make as well, because you don't think about it, right? And that's the thing about this game in general, because I feel like out of all the students here, I wouldn't say that Hisao's disability is the least worst out of all, but for him it's just like he just has to take pills, and then he'll be, the rest of the time he's just normal, right? It's just the fact that he has to be under close care, and care has to be very nearby, and he has to sort of be monitored in case anything happens, because something it can suddenly happen like last time, right? But other than that, he's perfectly normal, right? Whereas other people probably have disabilities that hinder their usual day of life, or they somehow had to work around it, and it's always something permanent as well, right? Like partial loss of vision, that's permanent. Stumpy, who doesn't have a part of her arm, that's permanent. That's only something you can adapt to when you have it. It's not something that everybody has to do, you know? So it feels like we're gonna be in a lot of these sort of situations where I said it myself as well, where I sort of try to be careful with the words that I say, and I feel like, yeah, he's gonna be in a similar situation, of course.
Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Ah, sure. Sorry. I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many may have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I used to use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerism seems to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and the field club, or track and field, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems so slightly amused to her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it, as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a very distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. time's gone quickly. Sorry?
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting.
It just looks like the sunset's starting to set.
It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time too.
Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. Or allay.
Oh no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it?
She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems to likely know in any case.
True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there.
I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily.
She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help.
I should be able to find it alright.
Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which it already has before, otherwise we wouldn't be in this room right now, right? But then again, I'm happy and glad that my navigational skills failed me in this situation. Because I don't know, something about talking with her is just so peaceful and calming. Which they seem to have a habit of doing.
It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped up in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together, we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library.